War has rules. Strange, isn't it? Even in chaos, humans decided to make a manual for murder, a list of what's too far when killing each other. And every time that line gets crossed, we call it a war crime. Crimes against humanity. That's when war becomes a machine built to erase people, not armies. In the Holocaust, 6 million Jews were turned into smoke, bone, and ash. In Bosnia, ethnic cleansing campaigns wiped out whole villages while the world watched on TV. These aren't military acts, they're blueprints for annihilation. Then there's genocide, humanity's most efficient evil. A crime with a goal so clear it's chilling, to make sure a people no longer exist. Armenians in 1915, Jews in the 1940s, Tutsis in 1994. Every century writes its own genocide, and every generation promises, never again. But history doesn't listen, it only repeats. Torture. Governments like to call it enhanced interrogation, but when you strip the euphemisms, it's just pain, measured, practiced, and recorded. The Geneva Convention says no cruel treatment, but prisons like Abu Ghraib and Guantanamo turn that line into a punchline. Humans are creative creatures, even in cruelty. Inhumane weapons. Some weapons are crimes by design. Mustard gas melting lungs in the trenches of World War I. Agent Orange poisoning generations in Vietnam. Chemical attacks in Syria turning neighborhoods into morgues. Weapons meant not to win a war, but to make life itself unbearable. Civilians, the forgotten majority in every war. Guernica's women and children, bombed for practice. Hiroshima's shadows burned onto walls. Modern cities shelled while officials call them collateral damage. The law says do not target civilians, but war is built on pretending you didn't. Child soldiers, tiny bodies carrying big guns. They don't fight for patriotism, they fight because someone told them to eat or die. In Uganda, Joseph Kony's army of children became both killers and victims. When a child pulls a trigger, the world loses twice. Rape, the silent front line of every war. The rape of Nanking, the women of Bosnia, the mothers of Congo. It's not about lust, it's about domination, the destruction of dignity through violation. And for centuries it was dismissed as a byproduct of war. Now it's finally called by its name, a crime against humanity. Humanitarian workers, the only ones who enter battlefields to save instead of destroy. Doctors, medics, aid convoys, all protected by law, all still targeted. Because mercy itself has become an enemy tactic. Cultural destruction, burning libraries, bombing temples, smashing statues. The Taliban blew up the Buddhas of Bamiyan. ISIS turned Palmyra into dust. Erasing culture is a quiet genocide, killing memory, not flesh. And then there's starvation, cutting off food, medicine, and water to break the will of a city. Leningrad starved for 900 days. In Yemen and Sudan, the siege continues under new names. The Geneva Convention forbids it, but in war, hunger is just another bullet. After World War II, Nuremberg said, no more. Leaders stood trial. Some hanged. The message was clear. You will be held accountable. And yet, Rwanda happened. Bosnia happened. Iraq, Syria, Gaza. Because punishment doesn't prevent evil, it only documents it. War crimes are proof that rules mean nothing without conscience. And conscience means nothing when people stop feeling.